So now you can see the fat is rendering on top of the broth here. So I just take this handy ladle, start ladling out fat. I save it in a pickle jar, but if your landlord decides to raise the rent, you can always just put it right down the drain. But then you got to deal with your landlord. See how it all kind of just gravitates right into there, right? If you don't do this, you get kind of an oily, undesirable broth. If you leave that in there. I use a pickle jar because I like pickles, and I usually have a pickle jar handy. There are tools there's a measuring cup with a spout that goes to the bottom. That is very helpful for this. I just don't have one. My mom reminded me that such a thing exists recently when I was explaining this process to her. I have to get me one of those. Save a lot of time. And you can do this at any point in time. It's not imperative that you do it. I'm the type of person I like to get my work done early. So as soon as I start seeing it accumulating on the top, I'll start pulling it out. This has already been brought to a boil. I got to a point where it was almost boiling over, so this is not something you can do. You can't just set it and forget it. If you do, you may burn down your house. So don't. If you don't have time, don't do it. Don't start. I usually will kind of move it from a boil back and up and down as I let it sit on the stove. After I feel satisfied that it's been boiled to my desired boiling, I guess. I don't know how to say that. I move it to this crock pot. And again, this pot will go directly from the stove into the crock pot. It's kind of a cool thing. I imagine you could probably get this thing anywhere. It's just a large 20-quart pot. It's very affordable. I'm not going to tell you where I bought it, because I don't approve of their practices. So I won't advertise for it. I'm sure there are better crock pots for this. If you've got one that can maintain a low temperature for a long period of time, that is what I would use. Again, I mentioned this has got a warm and a low setting, and those are the two settings that I will utilize for the duration of the slow cooking process. So it looks like we got most of what was on top. We're going to come back for some more later. Sometimes if you press it down, it'll let some of that up. That's all I'm doing right there. Okay. Lid goes back on, and it will boil for a little bit longer.